colors over at the podium. So come wrap out with us. And also, I'm going to be over at the Royal Purple booth, wrapping out with Dylan Hughes, talking to him. We'll see which way he goes. He's going against Dean Carnage Carney in the final battle, 32.
You're going to be busy.
I'm busy. And I'm going to high-five my son over the Rockstar booth. He's emceeing over at the Rockstar Energy Drink booth, the official energy drink of Formula Drift, as this is the Rockstar Energy Top 32. Adam LZ now out front. Chelsea Denofa in that chase position. Adam, using all the track. You see him shredding some skin there. Kind of struggled, and that was the point where, I mean, he is just absolutely throwing a brick on that gas pedal. Adam LZ hammers down. Chelsea kind of checks up there. He's like, Adam, where are you going, bro?
Yeah.
He just took off, man.
Yeah, I mean, chasing down a car that's going into, like, let's say a tire barrier or a wall is very intimidating for the chase car. So I'm pretty sure anybody would have reacted how Chelsea did as a chase car. But let's go ahead and check out the replay to see what happened right here.
Adam pieced out, man.
I think Adam was just like, you know what, I'm just going to throw it down. Nixed the tire barrier towards the end of it. I think his line was a little too early going to the outside zone, so everything kind of got pushed back. So he was on a different line than he should have been, and looks like Chelsea couldn't stay as close, but that might have been because Adam kind of blazing through the track. He does run a shallower line going to outside zone 2 to 3, then hangs out a little bit too long after outside zone 3, and doesn't do the transition as quickly as he should have for the touch and go on the left side. But I mean, maybe it's the car or something, but makes these drivers very aggressive, because as a lead driver, Adam's run was pretty aggressive.
The Mustang is such a unique feel, from what I understand. It's a throttle car. You just got to hammer down, man, and you just got to kind of point and shoot. And just talking to James Dean and just knowing Chelsea just over the years. Here we go. Slide him left for Chelsea Denofa, right for Adam LZ, and Chelsea Denofa gets the win. Denofa advances on Adam LZ, who got in the fight with the wall. The wall always won.
Yeah.
I fought the wall, and the wall won. It always does.
Adam's going to be driving partially, right?
Yes, so there's a split
event,
season between Adam and Vaughn. So Adam LZ will do 4 rounds of FD in that same car, or in that car, obviously, and Vaughn Gittin Jr. will do the other 4 rounds. So,
okay.
Yeah, so just for clarification. All right, we got a late entry here. We got the forklift coming in at outside zone 1, in outside zone 2. Little straight here. Little too straight. Okay, need to get tighter to outside zone 2. I mean, go forklift yourself.
Hey, you know what? Forklifts have really, really good steering.
Good angle.
Oh yeah, it's got 90-degree turn. So, yeah.
Are you a licensed forklift driver, Rob?
I actually am.
I know that.
Yep. And I got into an accident with the forklift when I was younger. Yeah, when I was 19 or something in the freezer. But,
I
was licensed, but maybe I'm not good at driving around forklifts. I'll just stick with cars.
All right. Well, little fun facts here. Jeff Jones debuting his new livery, Evil Auto Works, Nissan Z, and Simon Olsen, whole new ride. Never driven an LS car before until now, until here this event. Him and Odie working together. Looks like Odie's vehicle, but still running that floral yellow that we saw in his 2J powered Super last year. Now, LS supercharged S chassis. Really cool to see him and Odie working together. Simon had a big smile on his face, a lot of anticipation for him. But tell you what, Jeff Jones, just the way he's progressed has been really fantastic.
Yeah, Olsen looked really comfortable in this car. So I would have to say, Odie, must build cars that are very comfortable for people to drive. Because I know he, worked with different teams previously. And Jeff Jones, I think he was telling me that this is actually a new chassis last year or this year or something.
Yeah, last year. This is the same chassis from last year.
So he swapped everything over from the
Yep.
super old one that he had, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah. He had a 370Z. He's going to prep that car. I went out to his livery reveal, Eva Auto Works, and there's Chelsea Denofa and his team looking at his car. Sure, Lorette's down there. We're going to get some news from them, see what's cooking. But, and I know that Odie is working also with Ben Hobson and ProSpec. Mm-hmm. So the field suspension team, very busy. And unfortunately, Odie got knocked out early. But now he's cheering on Simon Olsen. Here we go. Jeff Jones, Evo Auto Works, Prism, Nissan 370Z. into that first outside zone. Jeff Jones gets all the way out there. Simon Olsen does not. He straightens. He's taking that mid-line. He's going to need to step it up as Jeff Jones, massive angle there from Jones. Transitions now again to LS supercharged vehicles, and Jones powers through that final inner clip. Simon Olsen from Norway having a bit of struggles getting to that first outside zone, and that just threw him off for the entirety of the run.
Yeah, so it looks like Jeff doesn't have a clean initiation. It's almost like a two-step initiation, but other than that, he does make it all the way out to the outside zone 1 and 2. Simon Olsen gets really close to Jeff Jones around outside zone 3, but he does look like he has to run a smaller line through outside zone 1 and 2 in order to get there. Right here, pretty much in the middle of the track, and he is attacking. Maybe he's getting a little more carried away on trying to stay close. Very shallow angle going through the touch and go as a chase run, or as a chase vehicle. But as a lead, or as a chase vehicle, you want to make sure that you try to stay on the same line as the lead driver and try to match the angle as well. You never know until they switch places.
Absolutely. It ain't over till the fat guys yell, "Send it." That's me. All right. Alternating the order here. We have 2 more battles after this. If we get a verdict here, Simon Olsen will lead. Jeff Jones giving chase. After this, Forsberg versus Field. Woo! That's going to be a barn burner. And then Dylan Hughes versus Dean Carnage Carney. Here we go. Right now, it's Simon Olsen, Field suspension, DT radial, S chassis. Oh, now he gets out there. Now he's feeling comfortable. Jeff Jones takes a bit of a shallower line. He does initiate. Simon giving the clean air and the clean line. Jeff Jones sticks it to the door. Simon takes out that inside clip. Was that enough for Simon Olsen? Jeff Jones judges analyzing the run here, the 3-2-1 cone. Let's take a look at it again here. Robbie, what do you think?
Yeah, so right now Olsen, as the lead driver, we know the potential that he has. He is able to make the car go all the way to the outside zones. And Jeff Jones, good job keeping the pressure on the lead car. And both the drivers makes it through. Now, we have to take both of the runs in consideration to see who the winner is going to be, or if it's going to be a one more time. It looks like Jeff Jones is, when he was doing the transition, it looked like he got a little stuck, but puts himself where he is supposed to be at, right? Yeah, so when I was telling you right now,
yeah,
Jeff making a mistake here as the chase car right there, he had to actually cut back in right at the outside zone 2, leaving the outside zone 2 as a chase vehicle.
Waiting for the verdict. The judges scrutinizing, taking a look, seeing what's going on. Again, if we get a verdict, 2 more battles left. How we doing out there in Long Beach? Look at this. Stomp your feet, make some noise. Look at that. Look at this view. Seeing the car show over there. There's that turn 9 of the IndyCar track. You can see the rubber being laid down. Going under the bridge, our VIP suites there on the right-hand side. Coming down into that outer zone 2. That's not the line exactly you want to take, but now there's that touch and go off to your left, and then finally that inside clip. So there's your drone FPV view.
Before any more replays or before anything comes up, we were just talking about what was happening. Now, number one, as a lead driver at the initiation, Jeff Jones. Oh, let's go into this.
All right, here we go. Slide him left for Jones or right for Olsen. Simon Olsen gets the victory, not unanimously, 2-1. Elaborate, because you said Olsen.
So the initiation, where there was a 2-step initiation by Jeff Jones, that kind of
on the leader chase
as the lead, and that kind of messed up it looks like that messed up the chase, where Olsen, especially at this track, you have to be on it from the beginning, and he the pace was messed up as the chase. That's why he had to take the smaller line all the way through outside zone 3. Now, as the chase driver, Jeff Jones pretty much had to cut back in again when he was leaving outside zone 2 as a chase driver when he was chasing down Olsen. And that was a pretty sizable mistake by him. That's why two of us went with Olsen and
Jeff Jones knocked out.
Yeah, one more time. So, yeah, it's unfortunate, but yeah, Olsen's going to move on.
Yeah, so again, those are the details that, at first glance, it might be just unanimous one way, but if you're impeding on the performance of that chase driver, it's kind of null and void.
Yeah, and hopefully I'm doing okay explaining it to you
Stop
guys.
it,
too,
you're doing great.
So.
And again, I always say, you boo because you care. Look at this barn burner. Holy cow, 3-time champion Chris Forsberg and that NOS energy drink, all new Nissan Z versus the new livery of the Borla exhaust. Heat wave, feeling it in that first outside zone, transition in his second outside zone. Forsberg and that VR-powered Nissan Z. Matt Field, the Lean Customs logo on the roof. Into that final clip. Ooh. Wow. This is a absolute gladiator battle right here. Let's take a look at it again. Again, Chris Forsberg on the GT radial.
Yeah, this
Matt
is
Field, both these guys on GT now.
This is one of those runs where it's going to be hard to tell until you see the next run, because it looks like overall Matt is on a shallower line, but at the same time it doesn't look like Forsberg made it all the way out to the outside zone 2. And maybe left a little bit of space at outside zone 3 as well. Let's go ahead and check it out from this view. Nice flick to initiation, both cars in good position. But from right here, Matt doesn't make it all the way out to outside zone 1 as a chase driver and dives in a little bit. And Forsberg, maybe a little bit of a space at outside zone 2 and a little outside zone 3. But overall, both clean runs. Right there towards the end, there was I'm not sure if that was a contact or not, but probably nothing
like
major there. Yeah.
It.
So here, Matt pressuring.
He gained the proximity.
Yeah, he did.
Because Forsberg came up shallow, so that allowed Matt to get close. Both of them did a good job in that last outside zone. And where's the finish line there? Because technically we want them to drift through the finish line.
There was
one, to avoid contact, and 2, to complete the drift.
Yeah, there is I think there's a marker on the fence. Looked like a stripe marker, I think, where it indicates the finish line. But even if you're shallow on angle, you got to make sure that you have to drift through the finish line. If you do straighten before that, usually that'll be an incomplete as well.
So here we go, Matt Field out front. I'm expecting a big, nasty initiation. He didn't just call himself the beast for the bay for nothing. Here we go. Or him get called that as Matt Field under the bridge. Outside zone 2, fills all of outside zone 3. Great angle there from Matt Field. Forsberg chasing him down, tracking him down. Both are wrapping around that final inside clip and powering through the finish. So Matt, really good. I loved his execution on outside zone 3. I want to take a look at outside zone 2, a switch between camera shot and to the naked eye. Just looked really exciting, them coming down the chute.
Yeah, so as a lead driver, it looked like Matt was a little bit wider at the outside zone 3, but as a chase driver looking at Forsberg, he looks like he's mimicking the line of Matt a little bit better than when Matt was chasing Forsberg. And also right here, finishing off the track, Forsberg didn't get too close. Right here, Forsberg looked like he did a transition a little too early, but he timed himself right, put himself where he should be as a chase driver.
Judges looking at still different angles and perspectives. Matt Field, a championship contender last year, just evaded him at the final round. And here's our BC Racing Go for Gold side by side. Remember, we have our halftime break. High five, handshakes, the drivers, the pits, everything going on. Go by the Rockstar booth. Yeah, really just breaking it down here. Forsberg or Field. and really splitting hairs here.
Yeah, it is. I mean, you know, just as any battle, you know, we have to look at it carefully, and we have to watch from the initiation all the way through. And especially at this track, the initiation area does set the pace for the rest of the track, and some of the cars can come a little short on the line as a chase.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Slide him left for Forsberg, right for Field. One more time from you, Robbie. Matt Field, and one more time.
So I think that was this is a little bit easier, where I think one of the judges probably saw it heavily. Now, it looked like, simply watching it, it looked like Matt was on a smaller line as a chase driver, but the way Chris Forsberg initiated at the initiation, it looked like he was getting right on throttle.
Yeah.
And watching Matt Field, it looked like he was waiting and waiting and waiting for Chris to take off. And that kind of made the separation where Matt had to run a smaller line. So all in all, watching them switch places as a chase in the lead, I think it was good enough to do it one more time.
Well, you know, if that's the case, good job by Matt Field, kind of tempering the flame, dialing it back, having that composure. Forsberg, you know, obviously, you know, needs to gain that ground. That's, again, purely what you're seeing, you know, being up here in the booth, not behind the wheel. And
yeah, and I think we get to watch the slow-mo replay over here that we were able to control as well, so we can look at it a little bit more carefully as well. So yeah, so it's going to be one more time. One more time
for Forsberg and Field, as what was to be the final battle of Dylan Hughes and Dean Carnage Carney. We will see. You can see that Max Restore logo on his hood. Shout out Rusty. I know you're grabbing a beer and having a good time, but Max Restore fuel system treatment, high mileage. So if you got a high mileage vehicle, pick up a bottle of Max Restore. Restores fuel economy, engine life, lower emissions, and maximum cleaning power. Dylan Hughes in that 2J powered BMW. Rain-X on the windscreen, GT on the corner, and the Hyper NFT Dodge Viper. Dean Carnage Carney, the other Irish driver in the building. Let's see what they got for us. Dylan Hughes, the dozer, gets out to the outside zone 1, into outside zone 2. Taps the wall. A big correction there from Dylan Hughes, allowing Dean Carney to get close. Dylan comes out of shape, out of character. A hard blow there for Dylan Hughes. That outside zone 2 ends up biting him back. It could have been a lot worse. We've seen.
Oh man, I've hit that wall before and went straight into the tires.
What car were you driving then?
The 240.
Oh, got it.
Yellow 240.
Yep.
But yeah. Oh man, I mean, up until then, the lead car and the chase car looked like they were both doing a great job. And it looked like Dylan was pulling away a little bit until he hit that outside zone 2 area. Huge mistake there, wobble. It looked like he almost straightened or something going through the finish line as well. Let me go ahead and check the replay again, but nice angle by Dylan Hughes, and a nice job by Dean Carney in the back mimicking, but right when he hit, as a chase driver you'd be surprised, but looked like Dean was staying in it right there. I think he just shallows up towards the finish line, but now we have to see Dylan give chase.
You know, Dean has had he's been working really hard on season, off season. He's really been hustling. Him and his lady, they've been absolutely grinding. So we'd love to see Dean, you know, do well here, and obviously Dylan Hughes, the dozer, going to be talking with him at the halftime break over the Royal Purple booth. Grab a koozie. They got socks over there. They got a bunch of stuff. I'm going to be rapping out with him after I'm on the podium with K&N drivers, and K&N drivers confirmed. I heard that going to be seeing a few drivers, Forsberg, Field, Jeff Jones, Travis Reeder, Larry Chen. Hopefully get either LZ or Chelsea over there.
Two very different cars, two very different drivers.
Right.
Yeah.
Two very different styles, different countries. These are, it couldn't be further apart, right?
Hey,
whoa.
Ooh,
what is that?
I think that's a battery pack for the start line.
Holy cow.
And I think Dean punned it into Dylan's lane. That's the first.
Yeah, that's an
after 20 years.
Yeah, right. The starting line, the battery pack. Holy cow.
Uh-oh.
Going old school? Ryan, Sage, get out there. Now you're going to start him.
Yep.
Yep, there you go.
How did FD? Because I joined the second year. I did one round in the second year.
We used to have like a
was it a
starter,
hand
like a
signal
starter
at the
girl,
start?
like she'd go, hey, meet Larry Chen over at the Type S booth. You know him, you love him. He's got the camera car, he's got the cameras, he's got it all. He's a Canon ambassador, Type S ambassador. So meet Larry Chen over at the Type S booth between 2 and 2:30. All the drivers, again, myself, I'll be over actually same time as that. I'll be over at the podium wrapping up with drivers at 2 o'clock. So come meet us over there. All right, so right now we are doing a manual start. Sopa is going to start him right now. Looks like he took out the light, so we're going to go analog. Look at this, old school.
This is cool. This is really cool. For us old people, this brings back memories.
Right? Just like, yeah, I know, right? There we go. All right, we started him here. Dean Carnage Carney and Dylan Hughes. Dean Carnage Carney initiates into the outside zone 1. Here comes Carney. Carnage into that second outside zone. Dylan Hughes does tuck into that smoke, but takes a way shallower line. Dylan almost getting lost in the smoke. And around that final clip. Unfortunately, Dylan with that major mistake in the outside zone 2 when he was leading, he was at a deficit there, and then with that way shallow line going from 2 to 3, absolutely missing all of 3. Watch it again here.
Yeah, this looks like a simple course, but it is very, very hard. But we spoke at the drivers' meeting as well. We didn't want the lead car to beat, since the initiation is very important, we didn't want the lead car to be too, hugging the line on after the initiation, right there, going over the rumble strips. So it looks like Dean was trying to get away a little bit, and Dylan was trying to play chase overall, but I think the mistake that Hughes made as a lead hitting the outside zone 2, that might be pretty big as well. So we're going to have to look at all of this and make a decision. Right here, kind of cuts in, but makes it out to the outside zone 1. And right there, gets a little too close. Dylan gets a little too close outside zone 2, holds back and has to run a smaller line than the lead car through outside zone 3.
All right, let's get our verdict here between Dean Carnage Carney and Dylan Hughes. Rockstar Energy Drink, top 32. Bang, there you go. Dean Carnage Carney gets the win unanimously over Dylan Hughes. One more battle left, and one more time between Forsberg and Field. And it's a beautiful day out here. Speaking of beautiful, Lorette, where are you at?
We will. Yeah. Well, down here in the hot pits, Chelsea Denofa just finished his run with Adam LZ, his teammate, and you said, I never get phased. I was actually phased. That was a wild one running your teammate.
I watched the replay back, and it didn't seem very crazy, but from my standpoint, he came in, tons of angle, went against the wall, and blew entire back of the car off right into my face. Like, it broke my door and a bunch of other things, and I've never been phased before driving in my life, and for a second, I'm pretty sure I had my eyes closed, bracing for impact with all the stuff flying in my face. But outside of that, it was a really good run. He had a really good chase on me, but I think it was just kind of unchaseable for his lead.
Right. So it kind of seems like a lot of the OGs here are maybe having a little bit trouble getting into outside zone 2. Are you finding that at all?
Yeah, I think it kind of happened when FD was like, we don't want to see any real handbraking or pedaling at outer zone 2, and I think that's just caused everybody to have to balance their car out a little bit more and maybe have a setup that's a little bit different than, let's say, normally at Long Beach for the last 2 years. So I know myself, I'm going through there flat and everything I can, but every time I almost cross my fingers for a second during the transition because it's way easier to do it if you can breathe or have a little checkup there.
Chelsea, thank you very much. Guys?
Thank you so much, Lorette. Some great insight there from Chelsea Denofa.
Yeah, just like Chelsea said, things, change and emerge throughout the years, and the way the judges are now here, we watch how committed you are, and everybody's always been committed, but I think after 20 years being in Long Beach, I think you have to be the most committed now, the way we watch these drivers.
Scrutinizing the run, you know, I mean, we saw a near perfect run from Ryan Turk. He's got the momentum. We haven't seen him at 32. Him and James Dean qualified 1 and 2. We have 30 drivers because some drivers failed to get their scores on the board. So bye runs for Ryan Turk and that of James Dean. So we'll see them in top 16 after our halftime break. Here we go. Chris Forsberg, Matt Field. What a huge battle here. Qualifying 6th. Chris the Force Forsberg going against the beast from the Bay, Matt Field. In that first outside zone, Forsberg taps the wall. He does a little correction there, but doesn't get too effective. Matt Field applying the pressure, and this is what he was talking about. Jones was just talking about this. Getting down and dirty. No handbrake, going across that finish line. There you go. All right, so taking a look at here, Robbie, what are we looking at? What are we kind of
All right,
scrutinizing?
so right here, the pace of the vehicles, it looks like this time for Matt as a chase driver, but doesn't make it all the way out to the outside zone 1 is clean. But Chris Forsberg as the lead driver, he makes it all the way out to the outside zone 1. After that, outside zone 2, both the drivers are around in the same area, and looks like Matt Field does a good job mimicking a little bit shallower on the angle. But right here, shallows up a little bit at the inside cliff, but keeps pressure on the lead run. So just like any other battle, we're going to have to see Matt lead this time and see how well Chris Forsberg is going to give chase.
Taking a
So
look.
the outside zone 1, Chris's wall tap there, it does disrupt his movement of the car a little bit too. So we're gonna have to keep that in mind as well.
Take that in consideration.
Take that in consideration, and we're gonna have to see this battle and make our decisions.
All right, Matt Field will now lead Chris Forsberg. This is potentially our final battle. I only say that because it could go one more time. We multiple one more times. We've seen it. It has happened before. So again, this one more time battle between Forsberg and Field. Field will now lead the Borla. You can see the Lean Custom sticker on the hood, or excuse me, on the roof. Got Heat Wave on the hood, Heat Wave on the face, because you got that Heat Wave visuals. But Lean Customs just dropped a really cool pin. It's the over